Well, hello there, profitable PR pros. What is up? I'm Jen. I'm Jen Burson, the founder of Generation PR and the creator of the Profitable PR Pros community and suite of programs, all designed to help you become a more profitable, successful agency owner and one who runs a business without it running you. So, my initial topic for today was going to be all about the top lessons that I've learned in my 15 years of running my agency. So, we are celebrating our 15th anniversary. March is the official month that I started my agency in 2005. And so, it's been really fun to think about everything leading up to the anniversary and how we wanted to celebrate it and support all of you by sharing lessons and things that we've learned, things we've celebrated over the last 15 years, and also to give you kind of inspiration of what's possible. I mean, it's really, a really kind of insane milestone. I'm really proud of it. If you're here watching live, let me know. Leave a comment. I can see who's here. Okay, so if you leave a comment or, give a heart or thumbs up, I guess I can't see who leaves a heart, but if you say hi, I can see who's here. So, we want to be positive right now, but I also, as my team was putting out the framework for today, because we plan stuff in advance, we want to stay on top of things and make sure we give you guys the best content and experience possible. So when we put it together, this was before all of the just quickly emerging things that have been coming up with coronavirus on a global scale. I mean, just yesterday seemed like kind of a tipping point of things getting really serious, with the NBA canceling games and other, we've talked about other conferences and things getting canceled, but now it seems like we are to the point where we're kind of at this point self-quarantining and schools are going to be canceled and all this stuff. So I will get to those lessons. So we're going to break it up into 3 different Facebook Lives with 5 different lessons each so that we don't, overwhelm with so much stuff in one Facebook Live. But I would be irresponsible and remiss to not bring up coronavirus as agency owners, as entrepreneurs. Thank you, guys. And we brought this up yesterday on our mastermind call. So the women that are part of my Generation PR mastermind, we talked about it from multiple perspectives. And like I said, I've been in business for 15 years and I ran my agency in 2008 during the Great Recession or whatever they were calling it. And everyone was in a panic state, not as in such a concentrated amount of time, but there were a lot of financial challenges. And to be really lucky, hi, okay, great, Gianni, thank you so much. My experience then in 2008 with the recession was that we were busier than ever. So there was a kind of understanding around companies spending money on awareness were going to kind of come out ahead of the curve. And so while some companies viewed PR as a non-essential service, if they were going to cut expenses, a lot of people feared that PR was going to be one of the things that was cut. But my experience in 2008 was that we got a lot of business coming our way because companies were seeing it as an opportunity to capture market share ahead of their competitors because, a lot of, Sally is saying, we decided it was a great time to grow. A lot of companies said, if we invest in PR, okay. And Lindsay is saying, I have several legal clients who serve the long-term healthcare system, so busy pushing messages for them, I can barely keep up with the urgency. that sort of a client niche is obviously going to be a different experience. I'm representing brands with physical products. Yeah, and Sally's saying one of my clients became king of the hill when others were shrinking. That's what we experienced. And we made a solid case for investing in awareness while all of your competitors are pulling back on their non-essential expenses to try to survive. So taking a more long-term perspective. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do today. Yes, this is something we can't ignore. My family friends, my like childhood best friend in Los Angeles, her brothers and father are the original cases reported in Los Angeles. So a group of guys went skiing in Italy and they all came back with coronavirus, and they're ranging in age from about 45 to, that's the group of guys, was about 45, 50 years old. They went to celebrate a guy's 50th, and then I believe, and then their dads went, and the dads are like in their early 70s, healthy guys, but they all came back from Italy with coronavirus. And my friend's middle brother and her father are quarantined at home, and they have been for a week. The eldest brother was hospitalized for pneumonia, and he's only like 50, and he's a very healthy guy. But their buddies on the trip, two of them, so I'm talking like these guys were skiing. These are healthy guys. They're in the ICU fighting for their lives. That was the last text I got from my friend. And then one of their friends who was also sick and tested positive for coronavirus, he was fine. Like they thought he was getting better, and he just took a turn for the worse. So while I know we're all saying this isn't a young person's, situation, and we all feel a little bit safe, and that, people make a full recovery, the situation that they go through to get to the other side of it is pretty severe if it becomes something that progresses beyond just the initial symptoms, which if you think about a group of 13 guys and they all came back with it, and three of them, and now four, actually the fourth one, developed pneumonia. Two are in the ICU. One guy was in a coma. And I'm not trying to like be panicked, but this is firsthand experience of people, firsthand accounts of people's experience who are actually dealing with it. And so the concern is trying to eliminate this major taxing on, like Lindsay said, on the healthcare system. Because when you get to a tipping point and hospital beds are being used, and you have to determine who are the most severe patients, who gets treatment, who gets, respirators, like we are not equipped to handle that. So things are going to change in the near term. I would imagine probably, I'm not an expert on this, but I've been, reading and researching, and I think we're seeing that in the near term, probably the next few weeks and possibly the next couple months, we are going to see some changes to our everyday lives. And I think we're seeing that rapidly evolve. So as a business owner, you can't help but wonder or worry about what is going to happen. And so, we will come out on the other side of this, regardless of what happens. If every one of your clients pulls out, guys, like we have skills, and it's not going to happen. We have skills that are going to be useful to businesses looking to recover from this, looking to get positive messaging out there. I'm in a group with a Facebook group with journalists and publicists, and there was an entire chat thread from journalists that were like, you guys, we have to write other stories besides things around coronavirus, or we have to write positive stories around coronavirus. Like we can't be tone deaf to it, which is why I'm not coming on here and being like, it's my 15th anniversary and I have all this great stuff to share with you, which I do. And we'll get to that because, you might find it useful, but we have to acknowledge what is happening. And editors and journalists are saying we have other stories that we need to write. It can't be all about this, or there could be positive spins on it. But the other news is don't be one of these, like we saw somebody sharing a pitch that was like, coronavirus isn't the only like get killer skincare um, beyond coronavirus or something like that. And it was like very tone deaf and very ridiculous pitch. So don't be that extreme, but there are positive spins that you could make. There are ways to position your clients in a positive way. So don't stop your pitching. It is a little bit slower. We are noticing that. But if you are like in the hyper local markets, we talked in our mastermind all about how to help clients get ahead of it by proactively messaging how they are taking precautions to keep their customers safe. We're seeing a lot of emails come in like that. And, to also really encourage people to kind of get out and support local businesses, because that's what makes our communities diverse. That is what makes our, if you're in a travel destination, that's what keeps the economy going. So if you can, go out, obviously avoid large crowds. I was just in Santa Monica on a staycation for my birthday over the weekend. And it was, obviously before a lot of this kind of came to a tipping point, but the LA Marathon finished, the finish line was right there. There were thousands of people, a little bit scary, thinking about that amount of mass crowd in one space, but the restaurants were bustling. Admittedly, the mall was like pretty empty, but I don't know if that's just how malls are right now. But it was kind of a mix of like people wanting to go out and feeling, safe and wanting to send a message that it's okay to be out. And then the other side of it was people feeling like, maybe they shouldn't be out. So there's two sides of it. And I think as PR professionals, what I want to say is, I've survived like a serious depression, or what are they calling it? The recession. I think they avoided calling it depression, but we thrived and our company grew and we got lots of clients, and we just signed a client. They're signing the contract, but they came yesterday and are coming into our agency right now to have us support their brand. It's a consumer product. They actually have one product that can be used in homemade, it's aloe vera gel. It can be used in homemade antibacterial preparations. And so they're feeling confident in spending on PR right now, and knowing everything going on, we're still getting new business coming in to our agency. So there's two sides of it. It's like, we will persist. If you do happen to lose business, it's not the end of the world. Don't go run out and try to get a job. Just realize we have skills that are going to be useful to companies in helping survive this really kind of uncertain time. Be a partner to your clients, be proactive in helping get messaging out around their reaction to coronavirus. What are they doing? If it's like what Lindsay said, long-term healthcare systems with her legal clients, that's directly related to the healthcare system. So there's obviously messaging that's more relevant, but with other brands, thank you, Altemis. With other brands, if there's a way, you don't want to capitalize on somebody's illness, and you don't want to capitalize on other people's industry, or misery, I should say. Sorry, I was thinking of like certain industries. But if you can get ahead of the messaging, like a lot of people are going to be working from home, telecommuting. If there's any strategies around that, if you have clients' products that support that, anything that supports good hygiene, hand washing, wellness, there are positive ways to pitch media. And if you continue to be a partner to your clients and let them know how you are helping them stay ahead of it, and if you feel a little bit of a downturn in work right now, or it's like you're not growing or you're not feeling any influx coming in, use this time to work on your business and strategize. Because I will say that just seeing other companies kind of either panic in 2008 with the economy collapsing, and again, that was like it was not as concentrated as this. This is like, it feels like the sky is falling. Am I right? But seeing companies react in a way that was like, I saw a lot of my agency owner friends go out and get jobs. And I actually had two big national well-known firms approach me about acquiring my company as an acqui-hire and bringing me in to head up one of their divisions. One was a lifestyle division. I think actually they were both lifestyle divisions, but they were looking for entrepreneurial people to snap up and put in these jobs because they know that that type of person can find business and sell and all of that. And they figured we all were in a panic. And I was like, I'm good. Like, we're busier now than ever, back in 2008, because we were able to position it to incoming clients as like, we're going to help you gather, capture press, gather customers by capturing market share while your competitors are panicking and not spending any money on brand awareness. So that's one way to approach it. And just with your current clients, don't be tone deaf, don't bury your head in the sand, but find ways that you can be proactive to support them. Maybe even positioning messaging about how they're handling the situation right now for employees, all of that sort of a thing. So that's how we are approaching it. And like I said, we landed a new client yesterday. So, I would view that as a win and growth. So it's not like everybody's freaking out and just completely shutting down. What we do is a useful service for companies so that they can help, like Sally said, become king of the hill when others were shrinking and not spending money. And that's what it looks like. So I guess, me being in business 15 years and kind of surviving some downturn economies, we just stay the course and kind of be aware. Obviously, as newsmakers, we're aware of what's happening. We're watching things evolve, in real time, and just provide that insight to clients so that they see that you are aware of what's happening and you're finding ways to support them in their messaging, media outreach. We may feel like, oh God, does the media want to hear from me? But they have stories to write, and it can't all be coronavirus related, or it can't be all doomsday. It can be positive stories related to that. So just thought I would bring that up. We did have a lot of discussions about it. We talked for about an hour and 20 minutes about it yesterday, specific industries, including, this is on our mastermind call, and specific industries like food and beverage, local hospitality. We talked about how they could approach it and gave our, members of our mastermind some pretty clear marching orders to go kind of get ahead of it with their clients and help keep things positive for them. So, we're always just kind of looking for the best approach, and it's going to keep evolving. So, but I did think that it still is kind of fun and positive to share the first 5 of 15 of my biggest kind of lessons and experiences in running my business the last 15 years. So Jeneration PR, like I said, is celebrating our 15th anniversary. And I hope that that serves as, just on cue, the rain started. What is it, 11:18? It's about 15 minutes late. It's pouring all of a sudden here in Los Angeles. But I want to give you guys some, kind of positive, my goal is to show you what is possible, and these are some of the kind of lessons and things that have come up for me, wins, things like that. So I'm going to share 5 at a time over the next 3 weeks. So yeah, we're going to be sort of positive and hope to inspire. So that's what we're going to do right now. So I've got my notes, lesson number 15, and we're going to work our way up to number 1, but lesson 15 was, or my experience number 15 was securing my very first press mention. Altamis, we have to talk about this conference. I am talking to my conference venue today at noon to find out what they're going to be doing for us. I don't want to see, let me just pause for a second on the other thing. I don't want to seem tone deaf and be continuing to promote an event that may not take place, because at the end of April, who knows what's going to happen. But here is what I am coming up with, because we have sold quite a few tickets. For anybody that still wants to come, well, I'm going to see what the event venue is going to do for us. If they are going to allow me to postpone, I may do that, in which case for people who have bought a ticket and have spent money on travel and cannot get reimbursed or still want to come, I will have an alternate arrangement on a smaller scale. Okay. So either way, we will find something to accommodate you. If the venue is going to let me be flexible and not make me guarantee a minimum, which I mean, I've invested a lot of money in this event, and it's a little bit scary to think that I have to guarantee a certain minimum of people. They're going to tell me what's happening. If everything's getting canceled left and right, this place has to be flexible to support their customers. So we'll see what they're suggesting. If it's still at this venue on a smaller scale and they'll accommodate me, we can do that. And if not, I will find a way for anybody who still wants to come to go through the plan as scheduled. Will be a smaller, more intimate. It'll be, I'm even thinking about opening my home and having, I have my office is designed by HGTV. I'm in here now. It's a pretty big space, and setting up a more intimate workshop. So, that's for people who we're going to see. So it's TBD, stay tuned on the event, because I want to honor and support those who have invested to come out. But I can't be tone deaf to this reality of events getting canceled left and right. And I don't want to continue to promote something that may not happen, due to travel restrictions. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited to meet you, and it will happen. We'll find something. So let me keep you posted, stay tuned, and then we'll figure out the right approach. But I think it would be really cool to do something on a more intimate level too, and work together, with a few people in like a very, very intimate workshop. Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, great. She's saying, well, you can count me in. Okay, awesome. Where are you traveling from again? You coming from New York? Let me know where you're coming from. I feel like it's New York, but let me know. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Thank you guys for sticking around here. Okay, so my top 5 experiences and then the lessons. The number 15, securing my very first press mention in Touch magazine. I was still an attorney. I was still practicing law. I did the pitch from my office while I was still an attorney, and I did it for free for the client. I just said, give me the opportunity to pitch you and let's see what happens. And that experience of holding the press feature in my hand, it was in the print magazine, and being able to have a tangible result that had a positive impact on a business, for me, was like a drug. It was like a catalyst for wanting to quit my job in law, because I felt like it was such a powerful, positive thing that I did for a company versus litigation that I, spent all my time with very slow results, nothing positive, nothing tangible, tearing down businesses versus building up companies that I love and believe in. And so that gave me the feeling of wanting to continue doing that for other companies, and feeling like if I could do that and get paid, that would be the most gratifying job that I could possibly have. So my lesson for that is, take the first steps before you're ready. Get started before you even feel like you're ready. Take one step. Like if I said to myself, well, I can't start pitching until I have a valid email address and probably a website, and I have to find a paying client, or I have to be a publicist and create relationships and blah, 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 I never would have just gotten the momentum to get this whole business started. So getting started, doing something before you're ready, putting something out there gives you that clarity, that momentum that will help propel you forward. And if you sit in an analysis paralysis and try to overanalyze and wait till things are perfect, you may not get going. And that one press mention in Touch magazine was the complete catalyst to start my agency. That was how it all got started. So I had to put it in here. And had I not just done it, I probably would have still been practicing law. I don't know, or quit and I don't know what I would be doing now. Lesson number 14, working at the official backstage lounge at the Independent Spirit Awards and getting to meet Nicole Kidman, Anna Kendrick, Kerry Washington. The lesson, the sort of funny lesson is, I'm a native Angelino. we see celebrities all the time. Like we see them all the time. I mean, I had an event where like Oprah came. My next one has to do with Oprah, but it's like even in Los Angeles, like you kind of have to learn to keep your cool in front of celebrities. So you're like trying to get them to come over to your booth. Like, here's this thing that I'm giving to you. And it's like Nicole Kidman. And I was trying to like just be cool, just, you know, try to keep your cool, or Oprah, like, hey, Oprah, I have this bathrobe for you. And, you know, trying to just kind of be mellow and whatever. But it was super, super cool experience. And, you know, sometimes I'm in these places and I'm like, wow, pinch me. You know, I can't believe, like, if I was still practicing law, I would be behind a desk and I wouldn't be getting to do all these super cool things. So yeah, that was kind of funny. Number 13 for me is getting to be in the audience of the Oprah Winfrey show in like their VIP, like as a VIP guest of one of the producers. So this was another one of those, like, you never know where your career is going to take you moments. Kind of took me, like, this was one of those moments where I was like, wow, I can't believe that this is the trip I'm having. We had gone to New York with a client to meet the Martha Stewart, like meet Martha Stewart's team, meet with Martha Stewart, and then go to the show, be announced on air as like their audience guests, because they were part of the Martha Stewart, they called them like, what do they call them? Like an advertising network that was like Martha Stewart's network. So it was all these websites that were publishing ads for Martha Stewart back in the day. And we got to go to the show, and that was in New York, and meeting Martha Stewart. And then we literally got on a plane, flew to Chicago, and went to Oprah and sat in the second row. And I was able to bring my client from New York to Chicago with me. You know, what did I say here? We were ushered to the front of the studio to our seats. It was like super, super cool. Halle Berry was there. And it was just like a cool experience to be able to say like, wow, this is so far. This was pretty early in my career. It was so far from anything I had ever done in law, you know, to go from New York, like getting to fly out there and going and being on the Martha Stewart show, and then going to New York and sitting in, you know, the second row on the Oprah Winfrey show. And I think our prize for the audience was like $200 to like a mail order meat company. So someone was like, did you get a gift? I'm like, yeah, Oprah gave us meat. It was a very weird experience, but very, very cool. And it was one of those moments where I was like, wow, this is like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. You know, that feeling of like you're doing the right thing and you're supposed to be here. That was a moment for me that I was like, wow, I'm supposed to be here. And this next one, number 12, this is the tipping point moment for me in my career. The day that I had one of my clients in New York, yeah, she's laughing at the meat. It was quite funny. We're like, what's she going to give us? And it was like, here's $200 worth of frozen meat. And we're like, cool. Oh my God. So the day that, you know, I talk a lot about imposter syndrome and that feeling of like, why would anyone hire me to do their PR when I'm just a lawyer? And I had that feeling for years. And I tried to overcome it by getting a job teaching at the Fashion Institute. I taught in their beauty department, principles of entrepreneurship. And I was like, I got to bridge this gap. Why would anyone hire a lawyer to do their PR? And for years, I just felt like I was like an imposter. Like all the press I got was kind of an accident, or it couldn't happen again, or that was so lucky. I can't believe that happened. And then this one day, it was like May of 2011. And we were at the Ellen DeGeneres show. I had 2 clients on the episode for their Mother's Day episode. And we brought the clients into the green room and we watched the show from the green room with their products on air and Ellen talking about them and, you know, mentioning all the celebrities that love these brands and all this stuff. And at the same time, I had a client in New York at the Today Show making her Today Show debut. It was all on the same day at the same time. So we watched the Today Show and then went to Ellen and watched the show get recorded. And this was the turning point in my career. This was 5 years into my business. And it was at that point that I had spent more time in PR than I did practicing law. And I finally said to myself after this experience, I guess I'm not so bad at this after all. I guess this isn't a fluke. I guess I'm not just lucky, right? So that was, yeah, Altamisa saying, OMG, that's so amazing. I still feel that way. I mean, I think the chances of something like that happening again are like pretty low. But it should not have taken me 5 years to overcome imposter syndrome in my business. And it shouldn't take you that long either. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You are doing the thing you're supposed to be doing. And you are adding value to your clients' businesses. And you deserve to be doing this, and you deserve to be doing it for yourself. Right? And I want you to know that imposter syndrome is just a byproduct of stepping into a bigger role and doing something where you're showing up and serving in a bigger way. It's you raising your hand and saying, I'm going to do something I've never done before. And it might feel a little bit scary, but I've got this, right? And, or you may doubt that you've got it, but you're going to get through on the other side. You know, most people have experience doing something for the very first time, and a lot of them, even the greats like Oprah, back to Mrs. Oprah, you know, Maya Angelou, Natalie Portman, there's like articles that they've written about this feeling, and it's usually the big, you know, people that we view as the greats that have achieved so much in their lives feel that because they're constantly stepping up and serving in a bigger way. So just know, if you ever feel that imposter syndrome, it's a sign that you are serving in a bigger way and adding value. Okay. And that's what I felt. And it should not have taken me 5 years and having 2 clients on Ellen the same day as someone on the Today Show to finally allow myself to feel like I deserved to be running my own PR firm. So yeah, that's the big lesson there. Number 11, and this will be the last one I share today because we'll do another series with 5 and then we'll do another series with the last 5. Altamy says, goodness, thank you for sharing. You're so welcome. I hope that helps at least one person here, you know, realize what that feeling means. It's a positive, right? You're stepping up and serving in a bigger way, showing up and giving more of yourself than you ever have before. So number 11 is being selected by Babbel.com as one of the top 10 mom entrepreneurs who made it big. What was so cool for me was being recognized as a mom business owner. This is one of the reasons why I do what I do with the Agency Accelerator, and I share my entire business framework and everything that works in my business, how we attract clients, what, you know, and Sally, who's on here, I noticed she was going through the content in the portal. She's a member of our paid program. And I saw Sally just noted on the lesson where I share my proposal and what we use to land $1 billion client. I give you my exact proposal and walk you through every single thing that we include, how we price our services, everything. And Sally was like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is so insightful. This is gold. Thank you for sharing. That's why I share all of this. I want to give other women, other moms, a framework so that they can make it big themselves. So that if this is their definition of what their business, you know, kind of work-life integration, their definition of success or having it all, if that is what it looks like for you. And I'm not trying to say everything's all perfect all the time. Most certainly is not. And if you guys must know, I'm like wearing my pajama pants on the bottom. Okay. So get ready for teleconferences with like looking good from the waist up and being in pajamas from the waist down, because that's about to happen on a global scale right now. We're all going to be telecommuting with no pants on. But, you know, it's not all like beautiful and perfect and amazing all the time, but this is exactly what I wanted my career to look like in terms of how it supported the kind of life I want to have. And so being recognized as a mompreneur who is successful was a huge positive moment for me in my business, because it's the reason why I share the whole business side of my company. I could just focus on running my PR agency and, you know, it's humming along. It's great. We get new clients all the time, you know, not all the time, but like new leads all the time. And we land the clients that we want to get, you know, pretty frequently. But I'm working my ass off to give you guys the framework on the Agency Accelerator side so that I can help as many people as possible figure out the way to make this thing work for them faster and better. And so I really just am honored, like, and that was quite a few years ago, to be recognized as one of the top mompreneurs who made it big. But that was such a huge experience for me, because it shows that you can be a mom, you can be a present and checked in parent and still run a successful business. Do it with pajama pants on. Do it while you're still giving attention to your children, focusing on my son who is on the autism spectrum and getting him the support he needs, getting him the services, recognizing very early he needed intervention at 10, 11 months old as a new mom, because I was with him all the time, because I work from home and I run this business from home the way that I want to do it. And it does not matter to my $1 billion clients, and it won't matter to your clients, that you run a business from home. I think this whole coronavirus situation is going to show a lot of companies that telecommuting is a reasonable and effective way to still be efficient and get work done in your business. I think a lot of non-essential meetings from here forward are going to get canceled. I think, this is a new model that's emerging. And I've been working from home for 15 years. And I think it's pretty incredible. It's, there's a lot of like pros and cons. Definitely not wearing pants when you don't want to have to wear pants is a pro, if you ask me. But I feel like we are all going to start to see, in LA, the traffic is a little lighter. Things are definitely a little bit different right now. But I think long term, we're going to see companies maybe agreeing more often to 1 day a week working from home. And I just think as a parent supporting kids, my goal is I want to make a great living. I want to love the work I do. I want to serve businesses that I believe in and support entrepreneurs that I believe in. I want to do work that's creative and exciting and lights me up. And I want to help as many people as possible have that experience. I want to be in control of my time. That's my number one, I would say, in control of my time. And I want to, be available to my children for whatever they need, whenever they need me. And sometimes that's getting on the floor and building a Lego with them. Sometimes that's, just looking them in the eye when they come home, being on the ground at their eye level and asking them about their day with a big smile on my face. And that's what this business allows me to do. And so being a successful mompreneur and being recognized by Babbel.com, which is owned by Disney, just made me feel like I'm in the right place and I'm serving the right audience with my frameworks and content that I share. That's why I show up here every single week to do my live show on Facebook. Regardless of, I almost was like, God, I don't want to do it. I don't want to seem tone deaf with this coronavirus. But then I thought, this is an opportunity to talk to my people. Like, you guys we're each other's people. That's what we're here for, is to bounce ideas off of. And I don't want anybody to sit and wonder, how do you approach this in your business? I think the answer is people don't know. We don't all know. We don't all have the answers, but you have to take it seriously, and you also have to continue on as normally as possible. Maybe you're working from home, you're not leaving the house. We canceled a lunch meeting today. We canceled parent-teacher conferences today. My kids' school is about to get shut down. The teachers have let us know that that's about to happen. They're making a plan for it. It's an effort to keep everybody as healthy as possible, but we can still run our businesses. And actually, I feel so well positioned running my business from home, as I have been for 15 years, and, surviving the recession in 2008 and being able to say to my clients, like, we've got this, let's keep you in the eyes of your consumers and ahead of the game with your competitors, because you are not going to take your eye off the ball here. And we're going to help you stay top of mind. People are at home ordering stuff on their computers. We have clients' products on Amazon, on Target, and people are ordering stuff in, and sales are still happening. If you have a toilet paper client, oh boy, are you lucky. A hand sanitizer client, you're perfectly well positioned. But this is just one of those times where we can't panic, but you do have to kind of take it seriously. And take it from me, being in this for 15 years, we will come out on the other side, all of us. And we still have a very valuable skill that businesses need, that when things kind of calm down, and this year has already been like really cuckoo crazy, and come November with an election, it's crazy. It's crazy. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but continue on. Media still have stories to write. There can still be a positive spin on coronavirus. And, like I said, you can always position it with clients that this is a really amazing opportunity for them to capture market share from competitors who panic and stop spending on awareness. Okay. So I think we add a lot of value, and we can continue to provide that service to our clients. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for letting me share my top, first 5 of my top 15 moments in 15 years of doing business. I wish it could be like all celebratory, but we have to be reasonable and aware today. I see quite a few of you are still on. I'll hang out for another minute or two if you want to ask any questions, or just even give me your thoughts on this. Like if you're thinking anything specific, or any concerns you've had, or things you've heard from clients. We haven't heard anything from clients. The only thing, actually, that's not true. My beauty client, big, really big international beauty brand, is launching a patented lipstick that's super, super cool. We already got it in Oprah magazine print issue from last month, and, kind of launched it sort of all over the place. They are canceling an in-person event in Los Angeles. They live in Miami and Minneapolis. So they're not coming for that, but it was a small event. Wasn't like a big, multi-person event. It was more like a influencer editor meet and greet. So they decided in an abundance of caution to cancel that. But we are still launching this product as usual. Oh my God, wait, time out. Let me tell you, we are getting, and you guys are probably seeing it too, emails from Hearst, Condé Nast, different publishers are, there has been tested positive cases in the building for coronavirus, and they have advised all of their editors to work from home. And they are asking us media contacts to not send any packages, because I think people are working from home for the most part, and there's nobody really serving the mailroom, and you can imagine the volume of packages that they get. But it's like, I'm just going to see if I can like read you one of the messages that we got. I have to go back. Hold on. I'm just trying to, hold on one sec. Oh my God. So give me one quick sec. Where is, I'm just going back on a text message someone sent me. To halt, Gianni's saying receive correspondences to halt sending PR packages. Yes. So, that's what we're hearing. And, we want to be mindful of that and be a partner to our media contacts. And so do not send any non-essential, okay, here's what we got. As we continue to monitor COVID-19, the COVID-19 situation in New York and globally, I wanted to update you that as of today, which was yesterday, the Condé Nast Beauty Network, Vogue, Allure, Vanity Fair, Glamour, Teen Vogue, Self GQ will be working remotely until March 31st, and until further notice. We will not be accepting deliveries at One World Trade Center during this time. If we have reached out to you about samples and you have already sent products scheduled to arrive within this window, please let us know as soon as you can. Otherwise, please discontinue mass product mailers until further notice. Individual editors will be in touch about product for individual stories on a case-by-case basis. Okay, so I know that came from Condé, but you guys should assume that that's the case with all, all editors at all publications, not just beauty. And if you're pitching, I would only send press kits if they request samples, and then confirm where they want it sent. Don't assume it's the office. Find out if they want it sent to their home. And they've said that it doesn't live on packages for that long. Metal surfaces is like the number one surface where it can survive the longest. Fabric, I think they said like 12 or so hours. I would look that up, but that's the latest that I saw. So I don't think the concern is that the virus is going to come on packages. I think that just people are not in the office. Okay, so Gianni is getting those messages too. So that is the sort of like, yes, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. That's like a major point that we're hearing too. So want to be on top of it. I'm here for you guys. Like, we're in this together, and I do believe that we can all, thrive and be successful. It's a great opportunity for us to help support businesses and keep their messaging and their, companies and products top of mind right now. So go at it that way. And if you happen to lose business, just know that this is not going to last forever. And, just like the Great Recession that we experienced in 2008, companies come back needing our services more than ever. So we are adding a lot of value. Okay, so I hope that helps. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is a really long one. There's so much to talk about. But yeah, I'm happy to be celebrating 15 years. And I hope that some of my experiences and lessons along the way can serve as insight or inspiration to help support you in getting you to 15 years in your business if you haven't already reached that. So post a question, comment here, and I'll answer them. I always monitor our Facebook chats, and I'm here for you. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. I'll see you soon, okay? Next week, I will be here too.